I'm here with Gerry Hinkley, a partner in Pillsbury Winthrop Shaw Pittman's healthcare practice in San Francisco. Gerry has practiced in the healthcare industry for more than 30 years and is chair of the HIMSS Legal Task Force. He recently presented a session here at the Privacy and Security Forum on planning for and responding to a breach. So basically we're just going to have a little bit of a conversation here about planning for and responding to a breach. What do you find? Do you find that most healthcare providers have plans in place to respond to a breach? Are they proactively prepared for a breach?
That's really hard to say. I think from my own experience, I get calls from people who aren't ready, and so kind of like, oh gee, call our lawyer. I think generally speaking, there's HIPAA preparation, which is not just about breach preparation, but also just maintaining privacy and security of patient information on an ongoing basis. I think organizations are, they're addressing it well. I think what we've learned, though, is through audits and other reports, is that the extent of the preparation may be more limited than they wish they had done when there actually is an incident.
What should organizations be doing to plan ahead?
Well, I counsel my clients to really do some scenario play. Think about, kind of what could happen, and also think about what, in your wildest dream shouldn't happen but might happen. And I have some clients, some really kind of the larger clients, that bring a whole team together to create the what ifs. And so I think that's a really valuable starting point, because there's a tendency, I think in all kinds of consulting that people buy, is to kind of get, like, what's the off-the-shelf product? Give me the binder, give me the videos, get me going. And that isn't going to get you personalized preparation that I think is really key. I mean, the situations that come up with our clients, they, generally speaking, had never thought could happen to them.
Now, are they taking what they have and creating generic ideas of breaches to react to? Or are they drawing from examples that we see out there now, specific
Both.
Breaches?
Both. I mean, the lion's share of breaches that take place in healthcare really relate to human error. So that unlike the ones that we've read about in retail, which is that, are external threats, healthcare is really not subject to extraordinary the Chinese are not aiming at our healthcare system to get our data, okay? And so it's more, kind of the internal cultural, misapprehension about what people ought to be doing. I mean, we have lots of lost laptops. We have, sometimes malicious behavior that you actually never think that somebody's actually going to open a medical record and sell the contents to the National Enquirer. That happens periodically, but you kind of, it's very difficult to prevent that, other than to be very careful around who you authorize to see what. And both health systems really don't have information technology that allows them to be that discerning. So in healthcare, I think that you can predict pretty much what's going to happen. Sometimes it's really stupidity, sometimes it's just carelessness, but that's really what we're seeing more than anything else.
What are the consequences, especially for a provider who hasn't prepared ahead of time?
Well, a variety of things. I think the worst is reputational, and a point that I make a lot is, people go to engage in the healthcare system based on trusting institutions and providers to take care of them. And in this situation, they've done that, and they've been victimized by the institutions or the providers' inability to protect their information. So they're hurt. They're hurt in the same way that, that they, as if they've been victims of malpractice. So, I think job one is, treating the victim as a patient, being upfront, being honest about, what happened. There's a whole school of thinking that you can minimize the exposure to malpractice by being transparent and truthful. Mm-hmm. I think this is another example where that really pays off.
Okay, Gerry, thank you very much.
Yeah, my pleasure.